How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Falcon's Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another double move review, aka for a soul review video for today. This time for this new episode for this series, this is going to be my review on two films that were released last year. Both of these are streaming service films, which one of them is a buddy comedy film and the other is a biographical coming-of-age musical comedy drama. So I'm going to kick off with the first one, which is a buddy comedy film, and that is Vacation Friends. This is directed by Tarver, and this tells the story of a guy named Marcus, played by Howery, who is about to get wedded to his fiancée named Emily, and they go to Mexico to having a relaxing vacation together for a week, until their week becomes very unusual to themselves because they meet up with these two crazy people named Ron and Kayla, who are played by Cena and Meredith Hagner, and we see them and we see throughout this whole film, we see a bunch of crazy shenanigans along the way. We see Marcus encountering Ron and Kayla doing crazy shenanigans and all that, and also finding out that they've accidentally invited them to their wedding and all that. So that's pretty much the story of Vacation Friends. Now, I never saw a single trailer for this movie, but I did see the poster for this movie, and once I saw the poster for this movie, I didn't know where this one was going to land for myself. I wasn't expecting this film to look me absolutely awful or anything like that. It didn't look awful to me. It just looked like an okay, decent comedy film. But I did like the cast who were in this film, namely the two people who I'm familiar with. You got Howery, who you may know him from Get Out, which he was really funny in that movie. And he's appeared in other big movies over the last few years. And you also have Cena, who lately he's appeared in a few big films ever since. Like he was in F9 and of course the Suicide Squad, which he was loads of fun in that movie. So for when I saw these two were making a film together, so when I found out they were making a movie together, and I saw the poster film, I did have a little bit of curiosity, thinking it could work out. But again, I just didn't even know how was this one going to land for myself. I wasn't, because again, I wasn't expecting this film to be really terrible. I was expecting this one just to be either okay or just decent for me. And so this movie was released on Hulu in the US, but this was released on Disney Plus in the UK. So I did watch this on Disney Plus just a few days after it was released. And after watching it, I thought this film wasn't too bad, actually. This one was just an overall decent comedy here. For a film like this, it's pretty much got what you expect, really, for a film like this, since this is a raunchy buddy comedy film. Like, it's got the exact same formula of its story, from like where the film's going into and all that, where it leads to and all that, from any scene it's in, and for what's going to happen with the characters and all that. Which when I saw that, when I was watching this film, I was like, I could obviously know what's going on and all that. And while I was watching the film as well, this film kind of reminded me of a better comedy film, which is kind of like this, which that film is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And I could say that film is much better than this, though. But this film, like I said, it isn't too bad for me. But there was some surprisingly a little bit heartfelt, charming moments in the film, which I was surprisingly found myself kind of digged with while I was watching the film. And when it comes to the jokes in the film, it's pretty much got the exact same. This film pretty much has the jokes what you expect from what you expect for a film like this. Like, it's got awkward sex jokes. There's drug use, alcohol and swearing and all that. It's pretty much got those all of that in this film. And in which, when it comes to those moments, some of them were pretty entertaining for me. Like, I did have a few chuckles out of me while I was watching the film, while there's a few that didn't kind of land for me whatsoever. And when it comes to the performances, Howery, I thought he was pretty funny in the movie for his character of Marcus. But Cena, I thought he was really, really funny in this film. I can definitely say he was the biggest show stealer in the film, and I could definitely tell he was having a great time filming this movie, because he's just so full of energy and he's absolutely crazy in the film. And Meredith Hagner, who plays Kayla, she was also pretty funny in the movie too. And everyone else, I thought they were pretty solid for their performances here. And I've just got nothing much else to say other than Vacation Friends. This film pretty much has what you expect, really, for a film like this, since this is a raunchy buddy comedy film. Like, it's got the exact same jokes for what you expect for a film like this. Like, it's got drugs and awkward sex jokes and all that, and for its story, it has the exact same formula and all that, from like where it's going and all that, and it has some entertaining performances and all that. But this film also has a little bit of sweetness and a bit of heartfelt stuff in it, which I could definitely say you'll probably enjoy those moments here and there and all that. And if you're a fan of like these kind of films, this is definitely a good one to watch with your friends and all that at home. And like I said, this is available to stream at home entirely on Disney Plus for free in the UK, but for the US, this is available to stream on Hulu for free as well. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Vacation Friends. I'm going to give Vacation Friends 3 out of 5. Now let's move on to Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Now this is a musical biopic, and this is based on the stage musical of the same name, which I've never seen, and this is also based on a true story as well. And this was directed by new time director Jonathan Butterell, and this tells the true story of this 16-year-old schoolboy named Jamie, played by newcomer Max Harwood, and he's basically his big dreams that he wants to do once he leaves school is that he wants to become a sensational drag queen. So he gets support from his mother and his caring friends, although he is still finding himself in the dark shadows he he often gets discrimination and bullied from people who say homophobic stuff to him, like because he is gay and he wears women's clothes and all that. And so we see him trying to overcome the situation he faces by getting a lot of support from people who he trusts and care for him. And we see him, trying to enter the spotlight and becoming a sensational drag queen that he always wants to become. So that's pretty much the story of Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Now, I was actually looking forward to this one because this one did look pretty interesting to me since I saw the trailers. Because this is a musical film, and when it comes to musicals, we've had some pretty good ones over the last few years. But what I didn't realize that is this film is actually based on a stage musical, which I've never seen before, but from what I've heard, it's supposed to be really good. And no, I didn't realize that this film is actually based on a true story, which I wasn't that familiar with. Like, I've never read much about the whole true story itself and all that. But before this film came out, when I was doing a bit of research, there's been a few documentaries on that true story, which I've never seen before. But once after I saw the trailers for this film, I didn't know much of the cast who were in this film, except there were some recognizable names who I was familiar with. Like, you've got Sharon Horgan. You may know her from a few things here and there. I think she's a pretty talented actress, and she's also pretty funny too. But there was one big major star who I was very familiar with who was in this movie, and that is Richard E. Grant, which is a really damn great actor. Like, he's appeared in a few good hits over the last few years, and he's even reviewed some nominations for some damn good performances he's gave over the last few years, in which for some of them I felt like he should have won some of those awards for his performances, because he was really good at those movies he appeared in for playing supporting characters. And for this movie, this was originally scheduled to be a theatrical release, but unfortunately it had to be delayed because of the pandemic. So this film skipped cinemas entirely, and this film ended up getting released on Amazon Prime. So I watched this on the day it was released on Amazon Prime. I watched this at home, and after watching this whole movie, I can definitely tell you guys that I had a great time with Everybody's Talking About Jamie. This was indeed a great musical here from beginning to end. The acting in the movie, I thought everyone was great in the film. Like Max Harwood, which like I said, this is his favorite acting role. He was great in the movie as Jamie and being really flamboyant while also having a few boyish charms and energy to his character, which I did like in the movie. And when it comes to him singing in the film, I thought he did a really great job in his singing voice in the film when it comes to the musical numbers, which we'll talk about the musical numbers later on. And everyone else in the film, I thought they all did a really great job. Like, you got Sarah Lancashire, who plays his mom. She was really good in the movie. Sharon Horgan, who plays the school teacher. She was also pretty good in the movie. But Richard E. Grant, of course, he's the biggest show stealer here in this movie once again, because he's great in the movie. When it comes to Richard E. Grant playing supporting characters in the movie, he's always the biggest show stealer in any movie he does for playing supporting characters. And here he does that again here, because he's once again terrific in the film. And I liked how he builds a relationship with Jamie in the film when he becomes sort of like almost a bit of like a father figure sort, while he's like a teacher and all that, when he basically helps Jamie to basically, pursue his dreams of becoming a drag queen. I really like that in the film, and I like that chemistry in the film, which I really liked for the most part. And when it comes to the story for the film, I really found it fascinating on the whole true story about Jamie's dream of becoming, a drag queen and all that, which is really fascinating and all that, and like how it all happened and all that. And I can definitely say it will definitely work for today's generation, all that, because it's mostly just the message of the film. Like, there's different messages in the film. Like, there's one about acceptance, which I did like, which is one where we've seen before in movies before in the past. But that message in the film, I would say it is still strong. It is another message is that about like pursuing your dreams and all that, and you feel like it's not going to work out. But you'll still have those who would help you and support you and all that. Like those who have you back and all that, which I really like that message in the film. It is really strong. And another message about like overcoming situation that is like in your way and all that, because we see Jamie, like he's trying to overcome the situation he faces and all that, which still keeps him in the shadows. Like he's trying to overcome discrimination and bullying and all that, which I really like that message in the film as well. Like overcoming things that is kind of like in your way, like say like you're getting bullied or anything like that, which I really like that message in the film. And there are times where there are some scenes in the film from its where you can tell like what's going to happen, which I did find predictable and all that from its storytelling. But still, though, the story for this film, it is really fascinating and all that. And I could definitely say it will definitely work for today's generation, and all that, mostly due to the multiple messages this film showcases and all that. And when it comes to the musical numbers, it's directed so well done by newcomer Jonathan Butterell, which his direction for this film was beautifully well made. There's some beautiful, high energetic moments for its musical numbers. Which when it comes to those, I really found myself enjoying while I was watching those moments. I really like those musical numbers and all that. But I wouldn't say, when it comes to the songs in the film, I wouldn't say the songs will be super memorable or anything like that. But there's a few I did remember much when I was watching the film, but I wouldn't say they'd be like super memorable or anything like that. Like the beats I can remember, but it's just the lyrics I won't remember much of though. But I still like the music and all that. But again, I wouldn't say they'd be like super memorable or anything like that. But in the end, guys, everybody's talking about Jaime. I had a great time with this musical, but I wouldn't see this musical being like the next musical classic or anything like that. But this still is a great one to watch. It's got fun performances. It's got it's got a really fascinating story. And it's got really good strong messages. It's got really good beautiful musical numbers and all that. It's beautifully well made, and like I said, the songs are great. But again, I wouldn't see them be like super memorable or anything like that. But if you're a fan of like these kind of musicals and you do know about the whole story, the true story itself, and if you're a fan of the stage musical, I can definitely say this one would be a good cup of tea here. So that's pretty much all I say about Everybody's Talking About Jaime. I'm gonna give Everybody's Talking About Jaime 4 out of 5. Thank you guys so much for watching for my double A Capital store review on both Vacation Friends and Everybody's Talking About Jaime. Let me know what you think of both of these films if you have seen this already, if you just recently checked out both of these films for the first time. For Vacation Friends, did you had a really good time with this, or was not really a cup of tea? And for Everybody's Talking About Jaime, did you had a really great time with this, or was this not really a cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Horgan's Media Corner signing off.